185 Miles South, a hardcore punk rock podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Zach, 185 Miles South, and we have another kind of off-topic episode, and this is a tribute to Jason Weedon from Run for Your Fucking Life, who passed away just about 2 weeks ago, and I did not personally know Jason, so I'm gonna shut up. Other than introducing two of his best friends, Jeff Shadoan, who is also in the band Run for Your Fucking Life, and Ben, your last name is hard to pronounce.
Nahoum.
Ben Nahoum, who's a longtime friend of mine, and as well as Jason, and he knew him since junior high-ish.
8th, 9th grade, yeah.
All right, so this is my cue to cut out, and I'm going to let these guys talk about their memories of Jason.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Jeff, or would you mind if I do, or how do you want to work this?
I didn't know your actual last name, Nahoum, so long, until just very recently. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's why we call him Ben Who.
Yes.
Right? Because it's actually part of your last name.
Yeah.
Right?
That's correct.
That's awesome. And I did not know that you knew Jason since the 9th grade either.
Yeah, actually. I mean, I don't consider like Jason and I weren't best friends, but we've always been pretty tight. Like I actually met Jason at a party in 8th or 9th grade in Chula Vista through our friend Luis Ramos. I don't know if you remember him or not, but his family lived off of Naples and Elm, I think. And he would throw these parties where like everybody in the world would show up. And I was kind of the new kid there. I had just moved in from New York. And I met Jason on Luis's porch. And it's like I just remember one of the times too, he had like this little bong he made out of one of those little mini Jack Daniels bottles. And so, yeah. He kind of smoked me out that night, and we kind of just started talking. And I just wasn't this was way before I was straight edge, and and so we kind of got tight through that. And then he started telling me like about all these punk shows going on in San Diego, and about like Chicken Farm. And then I think through him I met you and Albert and Fernie and all of that. Yeah, it all like after like he passed away, like a flood of like memories just started coming through, like how I met him and all that kind of stuff. Do you remember? You guys went to Castle Park, right?
No, didn't you go to Chula Vista?
No, I went to Hilltop actually.
Oh, you went to Hilltop?
Yeah, for some reason
I met you in high school. Mm-mm. All right, yeah, no, I went to Chula Vista.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to school with Rob Moran. Basically, he was like a year older than me, but. Him and Rob Moran and I didn't really like start kicking it until probably like 97, 98, and then I'll just see him at shows all the time or whatever. But there was a small crew of kids from Chula Vista, like some skinheads and like some pivotal, some key punk figures from the scene or whatever came from that school. But yeah, no, Jason Ubaldo came, and Albert came from Castle Park.
Damien too, I think, right?
High school, yeah, Damien too. I think for at least part of that, and I don't think Jason made it. I don't think he graduated. Damien definitely didn't graduate. Ubaldo got out early. Albert started getting like college creds pretty early, but like I graduated from Chula Vista High School. I was like lame or whatever. Like I didn't I finished high school. And
right.
So I didn't meet any of those guys until right after I got out of high school because like I was like super into high school and they weren't. But yeah, it was like that summer is when I met. I had a show at my house. It was like Heroin, Rice, Unbroken, and With Intent's first show was at my house.
I remember that show actually. I think I stole the flyers.
Yeah, in the garage.
Yes.
Yeah, in the garage. It was there was one of two shows that were at my house on the farm. And
Fun Farm.
And Jason came to the second one. He came to that one, and that's actually where I met him. And he told me about his band. to give him a call, and then like I called him like the next week, and then we were just kicking it like straight up, like hard kicking it every day from that point forward. And like, yeah,
he was always like the most like welcoming person. What I remember, he always meaned what he said. If he liked you, he really liked you, and like he kind of never like he didn't seem to hold back at all. At least with me, even though like there was a time like when he knew I was straight edge and he wasn't, and we were out in front of a show at I think it was the Cultural Center, and I was just leaning up against a car, and he was smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, hey, let's come on over here. And he's like, why? You don't want to see me because you're straight edge, or be seen with me because you're straight edge and I'm smoking? And I'm like, no, dude, that doesn't matter. We've been friends for a while. And it's just like, I would just rather go over here and hang out. And he's like, I think he was just kind of like testing the waters, and like seeing if like I was going to be one of those like stuck up type of straight edge kids. But like, it never really mattered, and it was just like, and I think it's just like, with all the Chula kids for the most part, like, or at least with you guys, it didn't matter as long as you were a good person. And that's kind of kind of how I felt too, and it's just like, you guys were always freaking cool, where I thought a lot of like the straight edge kids were really like uptight at first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're absolutely right about the genuineness and the like the friendliness, the lack of judgment, etc. was like an core ethic of Jason's, and of course our group, our gang or whatever, was like all about that. We're about unity. We're about like it doesn't matter what your life choices are, who you are, what you present as, etc. Like that you are like welcome. And then Jason was really good at demonstrating that exact thing through his behavior. He didn't just say, oh yeah, like everybody's welcome here. He would like, go out of his way to make people feel welcome there. And so he did that for me, like he did that from day one. That's how I felt welcome in that scene. Like just like you I was like just completely confused and, like kind of uptight about the whole straight edge thing. And I was like, thinking that I needed to be straight edge in order to, enjoy radical music. I think when I was like super young, but right after high school, I kind of realized that was all. For me, it was just part of high school. I guess you could say it was like part of my high school experience was like straight edge, and so, very quickly it didn't matter anymore, and all those barriers kind of just like fell down because of this guy. Like the relationship that I forged with him was that in and of itself was break down the walls, really, which is like a straight edge ethic, you know what I mean? Come to find out, but dude, like we still played with straight edge. We still like represented straight edge and like represented a lot of that music. We represented like the attitude, the unity attitude from the East Coast, and all of that was like ran veins through that Chula Vista group, and I call it a gang because like I feel like it really was like as soon as I met Jason, I met a whole huge like family actually, and like I got a really lucky chance thanks to Jason introducing me to like everybody that I met.
He was kind of like an ambassador. Like I met the same here. I met so many people through him.
Dude, yeah, he brought me into this like surrogate family basically. And for that I'm like eternally, it's shaped the core of my person, and I'm just like beyond myself gratitude for him introducing me to that family.
Yeah. And it's funny too because like even like when you worked at Pokies, it was just one of those things. Like a lot of times I would just go down there to see him, and just talk to him and hang out, because like we would cross paths every once in a while at a show, but like back when he was working there, like I always knew like, oh, if I wanted to see Jason, I could go down there,
Oh yeah. Like if he was somewhere, if you found out that he was somewhere, you wanted to be there too.
Yeah, for sure. Because like he had that like kind of, not to sound like all hippy dippy, but he kind of had that like aura about him. You just kind of felt comfortable, and you can talk to him about just what the fuck was on your mind. And like you knew like he wasn't going to judge you, and he always had like good opinions too, for the most part, like or good advice.
Yeah, no, like magnetic and always making connections and always like working on something and connecting people to each other so that they could, continue to work in the realm of, hardcore and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he was just all about making sure that somehow kept going.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. He was a pivotal part of San Diego punk and hardcore.
Oh,
like,
yeah. So much. Yeah.
It's just like
more than anybody knew. Like all he did was connect people and like, yeah, I mean, I'm serious about like everyone I know literally is because of that guy.
It's
like, probably the reason that we know each other, in some way relates to him, and so.
No, for sure. I actually remember that With Intent show very vividly because I remember you kind of had like a head mic. Like you were, you're singing and playing guitar and like there wasn't a singer, but you had like this head mic. And
I've never lived that one down.
Oh, no, it was cool. Like I didn't, whatever. It's, it's one of those things, you did what you needed to do. But yeah, it was like that. And then like you guys did Kids, which was a great freaking band. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kids became like so much more than the band. Right?
Yeah.
Like the Kids is like a graffiti crew also. Did you know that?
No, I mean I kind of saw him like in the sewers off of B Street, and like I saw it was like a graffiti crew as well, but I didn't know like the extent of it. If you want to like kind of highlight that a little bit.
Yeah. No, it was definitely that alongside that band. So like we Jason and I, the first band Jason and I were in was called Thug, and it was improvisational and we had no songs. We got to play with Green Day, no big deal.
Oh, that's pretty rad. That's a cool flex.
It's a cool flex, right? Like no songs, playing with Green Day. So I forgot what I was saying already.
Kids being graffiti crew or much more than the band.
Yeah, Thug was a graffiti crew too. Like we tagged Thug everywhere. And then so when we decided to start the band Kids, it was just kind of natural that we were going to write that on the wall as well. But like some folks took it like to the next level, like way after the band stopped playing music. There were individuals who were like moving all over the country and writing kids tags, like very prolific. I just saw one the other day at the West Oakland BART station inscribed in a sink.
Wow.
It's like Kids. It was like Kids 05.
That's
2005 and stuff.
So it's kind of cool that like Jason and you as well too, and Jason they kind of have like this like legacy that kind of like extends like far beyond them. It goes to a much bigger thing that he and has had this influence.
I think so. I think that was like part of like his whole like goal, which was like connecting people. He just wanted to like expand this family, right, and make it more like effective. So the music, the art, and the graffiti crew, and everything in between, all like I think was just like part of this like scheme, right, to like make the underground more effective, make the like that culture be more solidified in the in the legacy, I guess, of whatever, punk, hardcore, etc. Like to continue that. So
that's cool. What were you gonna say? Did I cut you off?
No.
Okay. Another memory that I have that'll always, it's like one of my favorite memories of all time, is when I traveled with you and the rest of Run for Your Fucking Life to San Francisco to play with Tragedy, and I think there was a film being shown as well. But I just remember that show and like the ride up there just being completely hilarious. I think Jason, I think a few others like jacked a bunch of food from Whole Foods on the way home, and I remember it was one time like Jason had like these haystacks, these chocolate haystacks, and he was scooping them out of like a bag, and somebody said like, "Oh, that looks like poop," and I'm like, "Give that to me really quick." And so I went and it was like I don't remember who, but I know it was Jason, Fernie, and somebody else. We went into the bathroom and I rubbed the chocolate all over my hand, and I'm like, "Okay, you guys give me this word and give me a keyword and I'll do my thing." And so this guy came in the stall next to me, and I rubbed the chocolate over my hand. I'm like, "Hey, buddy," and I'm out of toilet paper. I don't know, can you give me some? And I reached my hand under the stall, and I had like the chocolate. It looked like a bunch of shit on my hand, and the dude freaked out, and then we all just ran out of the bathroom, just like laughing our asses off. It was just like, it was just fun because he was always up for hijinks and playing pranks and just having fun.
I totally remember that. I think I think you were saying something like "help me, help me."
Oh yeah, or something like that. Yeah, help me, man.
Yes.
Like yeah, help me out, bud.
I just remember somebody saying "help me." That was hilarious.
Yeah, and
That's great.
but it was just great. And then like that night we all stayed at I forget, some house, and I just remember you were snoring a lot. But it was like such like a house, like it was definitely a punk house, but like I didn't feel safe. It was weird. So like I slept with like my arms around like my backpack, my wallet in my hand, and stuff like that. But even though I knew, like, I don't know why I felt it, but like I knew that like even though I was with you guys, like I would still be okay, but for some reason I still didn't, like, I was still just kind of freaked out about it. But it was still like one of like my favorite memories of just hanging out with you guys and all that, and like, it's just fun. I just remember picking up Jason too, even when we went to go pick him up for that show, and like he was looking rough. He just walked out with like sunglasses, and everything. He's like, "All right, let's go." He had like this gravelly voice, and he just woke up and he was just like partying hard like the night before or whatever, and but he's just like, "I'm fucking shredded, but let's fucking do it," Like he always wanted to play, it was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dude, thank you for sharing those memories. It's really awesome.
What are your favorites? Like, do you have anything that you could point out?
Unlike you, I'm not great at telling the anecdotal sort of stories about what happened. I like yeah, I mean, I just like hold him in this sort of like very mysterious realm in ways that both like attracted me to him intensely, and at the same time like bounced off of him, like repelled off of him, and like one of the main things we had common was like we were down to play music like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would put us in some pretty strange places playing music. Obviously, like, we played in a sewer ditch. We played in so many like living rooms and record stores too, and bookstores. Hostel? Yeah. Yep. And those are like my favorite places to play. We always had to like solve a bunch of problems, right, to make these things happen. And so it was like always super worth it when it was done. But we practiced in some weird places too. Like we practiced in kitchens, and we practiced in grandmother's houses and trailer parks, and we practiced in like really random places. Like it seemed like Jason would just make these connections that were temporary, and so we would be like practicing in some complete stranger like situation where like, oh yeah, I just met these sailors, and they're totally cool. They live in IB, and they said we could just totally practice there, and so we would end up like practicing in some strangers' garages for months at a time, and just making like a total racket. I remember like with the kids, like we ended up practicing in his grandma's house. I remember we were on like multiple hits of LSD, and then decided to like throw on some porn and try to practice like while that was going on. And like it was hilarious, but like also like really kind of like a strange experience. So anyways, my point is that we ended up in some really weird places, at times, and I think that was like really part of like the adventure of being the adventurous part of being with him, where it's like, dude, I don't know, I might get like totally messed up right now, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, every day was like an adventure with him.
element of the element of not just like adventure, but like living super cutty and like something incredible might happen right now, but something like completely dangerous might happen right now too. Like where you're just like, holy shit, kind of flying by the seat of your pants. Like he was really, really good for that. And we were just always like trying to like live in a situationist sort of, like thing, like with your adventures of the chocolate on the hand,
Yeah.
I can just recall trying to like spontaneously make trouble in the, in the mainstream society.
Well, I think that was part and parcel of like growing up as like a punk, where it's just like you just want to fuck shit up as much as possible and have fun doing it, because like at least if you're gonna fuck shit up, you better get a laugh out of it, And Jason was down for that.
Okay, here's the story.
All right. Let's hear it.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
So like we're doing shows in El Centro, California, probably like 92, 91, 92, 93 in El Centro. And
which band was this with?
Oh, like Kids, Chicken Farm, Skippy, Run for Your Life. I don't think was a band yet, but I think Antioch Arrow was out there with like Kids and or Skippy or somebody, and like the Border Patrol came, and like 50 Border Patrol came out to the show because there was like 300 kids in the middle of the desert, and we're just like fucking shit up out there at an Elks Lodge, I think. And like 50 Border Patrol come, and so we all run out into the fields when they try to bust up the show. We run out into the desert and hide out, super pissed that the cops are there, obviously, but we think we're gonna get away with it. Someone throws a rock.
Oh, jeez.
It bouncing off cop cars. Now there's like lots of police there, probably like 20 police cars. And so we're just having this rock war with them that only lasted about 30 seconds until they just came and arrested all of us. But
wow.
So I got arrested with Jason that night, and our other friend John Pospischal and Vicky also went to jail, and I think Danielle also went to jail. But I was in there with Jason, and we're all like just not getting any of the good stuff in jail. Like I'm feeling like shit, and all of a sudden I come out of our cells into the main, the general public area of the jail, and like Jason's got like his hair slicked back a little bit, like Elvis. He's like looking super dapper in his jumper. Like I swore he even had like an extra tattoo at that point, in that one day, and like comes out like, I'm cool. He's got a comb and his hair, he's got like pomade in his hair. And I'm like feeling like shit, super hungover and got nothing. Like, what you got? He's like, my cellie is the shit, man.
That's
he's talking about this. And I'm like, of course he is. You know what I mean? Like, of course.
Yeah.
And like, we're all trying to get out. He gets out first. He bounces first. His uncle comes and bails him out first.
Oh, shit.
Uncle picks him up with like a 12-pack of beer, and it's like, hey, kind of like, congratulations. And I'm like, and I'm totally getting shit on by my family because I'm like 18 having to call them and stuff. Like, they're like, you can stay for another night and shit.
Wow.
Jason gets out first and stuff. So that's just kind of like the dude, like had that level of, magnetism and enigmatic sort of draw to him. Like, it was able to like manage in every scenario.
Yeah, for sure. Like, another one of the things I remember too was him as a front man too, like with Run for Your Fucking Life, how absolutely ferocious he was, like singing, and just like destroying himself on stage, and I remember him like choking himself with a mic cord or whatever, he just he lived every single one of his lyrics and like just put everything into it, he got it all out. Like he was just exercising demons with every word, and it's like, and he conveyed that emotion to the crowd too, it's like, some of those shows were some of the most intense shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, man, he needed to do that. He was like expressing to me about a year ago that he needed that. And so we should do it some more, because of his he was just telling me that he was expressing that the need for, the ability to express in that way. That was like a, part of his, personhood.
Yeah.
Was that like need to express that way, and so I feel that like without that, sometimes people like get more bound up. Like if you don't have that, like if you've got trauma, let's just say, like an early childhood trauma, which so many of us have, but I definitely know Jason did have a childhood trauma that expressing through music and hardcore, obviously, though so cliche to us, is like such a gift to be able to like do that. And he was able to like channel that, through those projects. I think when we met, he was like, no, he's wanting to play hardcore. He was wanting to play really wild music, but also he wanted to play rock and roll too,
Yeah, he dipped his hands in a couple. He did Tory Cobras as well.
Tory Cobras was a major band for that guy. Like that was those were a lot of his songs, a lot of his lyrics, very much like continuation themes like of Run for Your Fucking Life, just kind of a different musical form delivery. Very like amazing shit there. If you haven't listened to some of those recordings, Chris Squire is posting a bunch of them online right now.
That's awesome. He's a great dude too.
There's some good videos in there. Like some of the only videos that I know of Jason performing, actually, most of them are Tory Cobra performances.
Really? That's great. It's too, because I was trying to look for just like any old videos, and I never even thought about looking up Tory Cobra, because I was trying to see if there was like any like kids, anybody took the kids videos, or anybody with Run for Your Fucking Life videos, or just, and I tried like Googling that shit, and like nothing came up. So it'd be cool to actually watch those Tory Cobra videos. It's just like, but it's just funny because like I can only imagine what it would be like to be in a band with him. It's like, because he had really great lyrics, and like he was just so intense. And like all of you guys, like Fernie, like Ubaldo, you and Danny, like you guys also seem to like jibe together, but also seem to be like at each other like a lot. It's like you guys were such like, the band was so intense. And like you guys channeled everything, but like it also seemed like you guys were also very tense with each other too.
Well, yeah, it wasn't no picnic, because we were just throwing our entire lives and at the stage, like to express. It was like a struggle to express to that level. I think, at least in those days, like, what he was doing wasn't easy, obviously, but to make those shows occur was like often stressful, because they involved a lot of problem solving skills that we were still like developing, I think. And also we just had like a lot of barriers to be able to play, and stuff. So it was like super challenging, and also like we lived together like almost continuously. I feel like we spent like a lot of hours together in one locale or another doing whatever. And so, the whole like sibling thing, like was like certainly part of what it is. We bickered and whatever, but
it's kind of what you do when you're like that close with people,
Yeah. But like, I also think that like, because we were throwing out so much rage, right? Like that just bleeds over into like everything, I think, at that point. Yeah,
that's true. I didn't even think about it like that. It's just like, because every time I hear about it, like everybody's like, oh, I'm mad at so-and-so or this or that, And I'm like, wow, you guys are super intense people. Like you go up there and you go on stage and like you are intense on stage as you are in real life, But,
yeah.
But you're also like really laid back and real people, And Jason was one of those people. And like if he was here in front of me, like, or if I could say one last thing about him or to him, it would just be like, just thank you for being in my life. You like our conversations, like the people like you've introduced me to, like, it's like you, like, I mean, I don't see you all the time, but like when I do see you, it's like, there's always warmth. And it's the same thing with like Albert and Fernie and Ubaldo and all them. Like I don't see you guys all that often, but like there's always like this warmth, and it's like even now, like when I talk to you and I hear your voice, I'm like, oh, it's Jeff, and it's, and it's like I said, I don't see you all that often. And it's like that picture I have of like you, me, Albert, and Jason out in front of the Tower Bar is like one of my favorite pictures that I have, because we're all just smiling and just like, I mean, we were being dorks and being just talking about dumb shit, like not even like 3 minutes before that photo was taken, you know. But like the first thing I did was like find that photo, you know, and it was just like, all right, I need to, you know, and all that stuff, because it's just like he just has a place in my heart no matter what, you know. And because he has a place in my heart, like all of you guys have that place in my heart.
Yeah. Well, it's like we didn't have the habit of developing relationships that would feel different after not seeing somebody for, you know, months or years even, that like you just, when you see somebody, it's like you pick right back where, you know, where you left off or whatever. And so it's just like not accepting anything less than family when it comes to, maintaining these, you know, the things that we're doing, the way that we're expressing, you know, our lives. And I feel that like the dude was really, really, really good at that. You know, that wholehearted, like full, like, you know, what they call like joie de vivre or whatever, where you're just like, you see somebody and you're just like you're automatically in, and there's no pretension, there's no like whatever, you know, extraneousness, real, you know, it's like, you know? Substance. Yeah. Like there's a celebration of substance and the, you know, the sisterhood and the brotherhood, of, you know, of the underground, of, you know, for the people, basically. Like it's just all, you know, it's all about equality and love and respect and admiration, I think. And that dude like taught me so much about that, you know?
Yeah, no, I fully like if you could think of like one thing that he taught you that you think you could carry on with you the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, fuck. Right now, like, the music project that I'm doing is like completely completely a situation that him and I would have created, or that we may as well be working on together. You know, like passing it through. When I passed it through him a few months ago, he was just super on fire about what I was doing, and so he's in that loop with me right now.
Good. It's like you're channeling him.
Yeah, he's in my creative space, like 100 right now, and I just hope he stays there.
Oh, I'm sure he will. You know, it's like, and the one thing like I carry with me from him is like just be cool to everybody, you know, no matter who the fuck they are, you know, and like you treat everybody like a person, and everybody has something good to offer, you know, and it's just like and just to be accepting of other people, you know, and it's just like, I don't know what, yeah, he was just a wonderful human being.
Yeah, he always wanted to be, you know, performing and be in front of people and be creating, and he intuitively sort of knew that, like across groups of friends or across islands, if you will, that, you know, that not only can we accept each other, but that we can like celebrate each other through whatever it is that we're doing. So, you know, he like always had connections in these other islands and places. And then like, I swear the only reason that we would have played in LA or Orange County at all is because he, you know, like reached people there in some way.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how he did that, but
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say that we haven't already said, you know, unless you have anything that you want to add.
Yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm doing good.
Good.
Ben, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm doing well. You know, so it's just like, it's one of those things, like the last time I actually talked to Jason, he called me, and I was at work, and unfortunately I couldn't like sit and like talk to him, but he was asking me like if I could help him out with a resume, and like I couldn't, like unfortunately I wasn't able to, so like I you know, I kind of directed him over to Chris Kohler, and I think Chris Kohler helped him out, but that was like there was maybe about like a year and a half ago, because like we'd go through like these periods where like we'd be out of touch, you know, but like my number has never been the same, and it was one of those things that like I felt it was really awesome that like he just reached out to me at like, I need help with something, you know, let me give Ben a call, you know. So it was great. I was like, oh my god, Jason's calling me, you know. I haven't heard from him in a while, but like when we were talking, it was just like, it just didn't seem like that time had passed, you know. And like I wish I would have been at the time, like I kind of wish I would have been like, hey dude, let's go grab coffee or grab lunch or something, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just like busy at work, and I kind of had to be like, hey, I can't right now, but like give Chris a call, you know, he might be able to help you out, you know. And it's like I mean I kind of really regret that I didn't like get that chance to like, hey dude, let's go grab like a slice of pizza or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the story of the last time I saw him that I posted?
No, if it's on Facebook or anything, I don't have a Facebook account anymore.
So it was me and my family, my son and my daughter and my partner Kate.
Okay.
And two friends, Mary and Reed, and Fernie was there too. We were just like walking down the street and on Revolucion in TJ. So we're on Revolucion and like just messing around, getting tacos and whatever. And like Mary goes like, hey, is that your friend? Like, is that your friend right there? And I'm like, and Fernie looks around the corner and he's like, dude, that's Weedon right there. And we're like, and he says like, so go see if it is. So he's like a half a block ahead of us now at this point. So I kind of like jog up behind him, like sneaking. So we sneak up behind him and I notice he's got the Chula Vista logo tattooed all huge on the back of his calf,
right
on his lower leg. And I'm like, that's how I recognize him. You know, I was like, I think it's him. I hadn't seen him in like a year, but yeah, it was him. So he's like, I like snuck around him and like jumped in front of him until they like scared the bejesus out of him on in TJ. And like, we just had like a half hour catch up, you know, session on the street, you know, just like introducing him to, you know, to my friends and my family and like, you know, just catching up that way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. So that was the last time either Fernie or I saw him. And yeah, and like it was a few months later, but I hear though that he was working on like music stuff actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that he was like writing a lot of music stuff just in the last few months. And he was working with somebody on that as well. And I don't know very much about it, but I just found that out recently. So
gotcha.
It's really comforting to know that he was like, you know, that he was planning to be expressive, that he had some plan, you know, with music, and that, you know, and that the music creating was writing music was like a dominant force in what he was doing. Because like his mom died in October last year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's raised by his grandma there in Chula Vista, like East Orange, and she passed away late last year, and it was kind of like a really rough road because she got ill for like 6 months before that, and so it was like he was one of the caretakers in that situation.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Was he like her primary caretaker, like getting paid to take care of her or something?
I think, if not the primary caregiver, like a small team.
Okay.
On that. So,
gotcha. So
yeah, I mean, but I think he was writing music and stuff. It was like, that's really exciting.
Totally.
You know, for him. You know.
I wonder if he ever even recorded any of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how, like, what the plans were for any of that. So.
Gotcha. Question: do you mind me asking? Do you know when they're gonna have the funeral, if it already happened?
I don't think there's gonna be a funeral. It's gonna just be like cremation. I think it's already happened and stuff. So
okay.
I don't know what the family is doing memorial wise, but I do know that a lot of his family, his immediate family, are flying in, and they're going to be at the 20th thing at the Live Wire.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
next Saturday.
Cool. Yeah. That'd be great. Okay. Are you gonna?
Yeah, I think the Live Wire thing is like where we want to go for the full experience.
Right. No, for sure. Okay.
Is that something that you want to say what it is on the pod? Or is that a private thing?
No, I mean, I think people agreed that Jason would want the world there.
And so what is the event at the Livewire?
It's a memorial event at the Livewire, August 20th at 2 p.m.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have anything more to add unless you do, Jeff.
No, I don't. If
You
have any other cues or any last minute thing, I'm happy to talk.
Yeah, I don't. Wow.
But I'm good.
I think we kind of like did him some due justice, like.
Yeah, it's so it's like surface. I hope there's some substance in there.
Oh, there's definitely some substance, like I said, he's a warm person, and he did a lot of things and he meant a lot to a lot of people, so I think this is like a good tribute to him.
I hope. I hope that's a start.
Yeah, totally. And everything has beginnings, so I it'd be great.
I think it comes across that you guys loved your friend, right? And hardcore, a lot of it is about that. It's about, meeting unique people and having them come in and be a part of your life. And depending on how your life situation is, a lot of these people become family. And, we just gotta tell people you love them all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually the one thing, like, even though I don't think I've ever said it to Jason, I hope he knew that I loved him. It's just like, cause like I said, like I said, we didn't see each other all that often, but when we did, I felt like every minute counted,
And you guys are a little more lucky in San Diego because not everyone's a bunch of hard asses, so you guys can tell everyone you love them easier.
It's true.
We were doing a show. We did a kids show about 4 years ago, and Jason was so sweet on the mic. He was like just very forthcoming about his wish, that people would, say "I love you" more often, and that people would reach across and hold each other more often. Even if just sitting at the bar stool or, walking somebody home. I think, he's like, his reasoning was that you really don't know, you honestly don't know when people are going to go. And he had mentioned, he was specifically mentioning two other friends of ours, Anthony Aguilar and Damian Gudinho, who had passed in just the years prior to that show that we did. He was talking about them, he's like, because like, they're gone and they would want, someone to, they would want to know, that you love them if you do, and so, it's kind of like this, don't leave. He's like, don't leave without saying it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like wish,
I mean, that was the show at the Tower Bar, right?
Yeah. And, and so Jason didn't leave, without saying that, he was just always saying, I love you.
Yeah. It was just like, and I remember actually, cause I was talking with Albert about Damien and stuff too that night. And it was just like, there's all these people who have passed at like such a young age, who shouldn't have passed, but like, through one way or another, it happened,
Yeah.
And,
well, they're 30s,
Yeah. And, it's just like, but he's 100% correct. Like, you tell people that you should tell people that you care about them. And it's just like, it shouldn't be like this weird thing, where it's like, it shouldn't be like a form of like weakness that you're showing emotion, it's like, it actually takes strength to like tell somebody that you care, and to acknowledge that like, I do have these strong feelings about you as a person and I'm not afraid to show it,
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, dudes have such an amazing like problem with this sometimes, but but yeah, I mean, even just like explicitly saying something like, remembering to send the text, it's always like if someone's in trouble, like it's like somehow their job to like reach out and say, yo, I'm struggling right now. I need, where are my friends at and stuff. And a lot of people do that, but really, man, it's our job actually to lean in and to be keeping track of people and sensing when they're struggling. Right. And then it's that time for us to lean in and be like, yo, I care about you.
Yeah.
Just checking in. I'm just checking in because I care.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? And like that they're like that we just have to kind of remember to do that with people sometimes because like everybody's got struggles. Everybody's got, their demons and their struggles for sure. And so it's almost like we have to like develop this third sense to sort of like say like, oh, hey, I wonder if that person's all right. I'm gonna just reach across real quick, check in,
Yeah.
see how things are going.
Totally. Well, before that even happens, I just want to tell you that I love you too. So just so that on the record that you hold a place in my heart too. So just
Ben, I'm so glad you called me today or to arrange this and stuff like that. It has been too long. I love you too. I care about you, and I care about your memories. And it's really amazing to hear like things I didn't know, about Jason. And it's also just like really, really cool to kind of like take a trip back.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of what I think Zach was hoping to do is just like and bring that back and like make everybody just kind of remember Jason in their own way. It's just so it was good that he did that.
Yeah. Well, there's the two of ours. A glimpse into the two of ours.
Yeah, but I think
there's so much more.
Yeah, and that'll happen. I think at the memorial, everybody's going to be sharing their stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
but
you think that's okay?
Oh, I think this is wonderful.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let me.
I'll kill the record, and then you guys can still continue to talk.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening, and RIP to Jason.
Yeah, RIP Jason, dude. You are missed like you wouldn't believe. Thank you.